Alright, tubers. Got the roof skin kind of fitted in there, got things trimmed down. I'm probably going to have to go down about another 1/8 of an inch or so on this passenger side. It's just not quite going all the way down right here just yet. We came along and trimmed and hammered out this piece. Nothing like beating up on a new $400 panel, but got to get it where this will go all the way down into this trough. I have not split for the seam yet. I still got a little bit of tweaking to do. My little sub panel piece, I marked it and trimmed it and left myself about 1/8 of an inch or so, just in case I needed to do any shifting around. And I'm touching here in this area. I'm touching right in here. May end up having to go in there. We still just got that piece spot welded across there, so we can adjust on this a little if we have to. We don't want to get it out of sort because I want it to be flush and tight with this roof skin whenever we start punching holes and spot welding and all that, which is way later. But the glare's coming in that back window again pretty bad, but I hope that shows up. You can see it's pretty flush all the way across, and then right on that side over there, there's just a little slight gap, which means it's pretty much the same thing. I have not split this area yet. Let me zoom that back out a little bit. Hadn't split that, so we touching the inside there, which means it'll come down just a little bit more, which is about what we need, just a little bit. That's flush along there, and it's off just a hair high right here, but I can push that down with my fingers. So when we go to clamping this thing up, it's going to be pretty close. The roof skin's got to come this way just a little in order for me to catch that lip so I can fold it. Right now it's about flush, so I know I got to do some adjusting there. This A-pillar that's got a little ding right here, we knew that was there, and we're going to take care of that. It's pretty close, same situation. In order to get this roof skin all the way down, we probably got to come in here. I've made about 2 cuts on these A-pillars so far, just trying to get it to come down without having to end up patching a piece in right there. I want to go A-pillar metal to roof skin metal without having to put a piece in if there's any way possible. It's going to be close, but stepping off out here toward the back here, which is actually the front, you can see it's close. It's close, tubers. Well, it's close to fitting. I mean, it ain't close to being done. It's a long way from being done. So, like I say, the worst part's going to be bending this. All right, YouTube, on the driver's side, we got all of our spot welds. We've got our seam weld where we put this piece in here, and our little extension piece that was kind of where we had some rust in there. All that's been ground down, dressed. We got one little piece to put in right here, and that's that little tricky bend piece, but we definitely gonna put one in there. Same situation here. All those welds have been ground down, dressed up, and nothing's in the way of that panel sitting down. We had a little problem area here that we resolved. This piece right here was actually about flush, and all we did was just take us a little sliver out in here and re-weld that back. So now that this piece right here is recessed into where that quarter panel recess is. So all that looks good. We welded up back here and just kind of so dressed up in there. That's not critical, but this area right here where the panel lays in, I did want it to be super smooth. So that's what we got. That's what we're looking at. Hey tubers, Jeff Lindsay in the garage with you. It is Saturday, the 30th, getting close to a new year. YouTube, we kind of in a mess here with this roof skin. It's not going to be an easy task. We came out today and started test fitting again, and we figured out that we did not have a full 3/4 here when we built this channel, and we knew that way back, but we just hadn't ever done anything about it. So we had to come in here and split here and bring this 1/4 out just a little, probably about a good full 1/8 of an inch. And we had to cut our welds loose up here. We already had that. Everything on the inside's been treated and all with weld through primer and some epoxy from the inside. And you can see I sprayed it heavy. I made it run out a little bit, but that's all fine and dandy. When we put the roof skin on and we would clamp it in this area right here, we would still be shy. In other words, that lip wasn't fitting down in this depression area like it was supposed to, and it was because this 1/4 wasn't out far enough. It was buried in there too deep, and it all stemmed from the channel that we built way back, that window channel here. So we've got that split. We've got it out at 3/4 of an inch, and we're gonna come back around. Should double check the other side, which it was pretty good, but we're gonna double check everything before we throw the roof skin back up there again. And we knew this was gonna be a mini test fit process. It's going to be a multiple video process, but that's kind of where we at. We've been working on this passenger side, trying to get that full 3/4 of an inch so the roof skin will lay down in here, because you don't want to clamp that thing down and potentially put a bow in that roof skin somewhere across this back, you know. Or at least that's my thinking anyway. I've never done it, but that makes sense to me. You can see where we split the window channel and brought it out. This side is a full 3/4. A much better job. It was the second one that I done, and you know, I'm sure that helped a little bit, just having a little bit of an experience with doing that. But and there again, if you'll remember, the driver's side for some reason wasn't quite as bad as the passenger side. So, but that's kind of where we at, YouTube. We're just trying to make repairs so we can make repairs, and we'll quit talking so much and get off here. We'll try to bring you along for some of the welding and stuff as we go. Hey, tubers. Test fitting the roof again. This is probably going to be as good as it's going to get. I mean, it's as close as I can get it. I have stretched, pulled, tugged, done everything that I know to do, and it is really close. The corner is coming down pretty flush here. The roof skin is really good here. This is all passenger side, obviously. My measurement from here to here, and from here to the beginning of the trunk. And I did look at the other car. The trunk is flush with both sides of the quarters, and mine is. Measurements are dead on so far. We've done some pulling and tugging, but I'm gonna drill a couple of holes, one here, one on each corner, or actually one on each side on the back for reference marks. And I will tell you why in just a second. This is as good as I'm gonna get it. I mean, it's flush. It can go down a little bit more, but I do not have this sliced in here yet for this piece to roll under. But I've got just about 1/4 of an inch. That's about what that is, that will roll under. This is flush with that piece I put in on the back side, flush right in here. And it's just about 1/8 of an inch difference on the other side, which it's kind of guesswork anyway. A-pillar is not bad. We got that little bit of damage right here that we knew we had, but I believe we're gonna be fine with it. I did drill out the spot welds on this A-pillar and moved it around the skin just a little. And for the other reason is to get in there and straighten all this mess out. I gotta get in there and straighten all that out. All right, tubers, here's the deal. You see the strap running to underneath the car. Now I'll show you what I had to do. I believe when this car was hit that it threw the A-pillars off just a hair. Well, I was able to hook to this one and just, I mean, this thing is, it's almost just on its own weight. It's not pulled tight, but it moved it just enough for this side to line up, I mean, just about as perfect as I can get it. My measurements from here, 10 inches in from here down to this hood support post on both sides is 27 3/4. And you second gen guys, you got them, grab a measurement and double check and see if that's what you get. That's what that other car is, and that's what this car is now. So I'm really digging it. I've got a perfect fold distance here. I'm a little shy right in this area, but this sub panel or support panel is a little bit flexible. I think it'll be fine. Right back in here, I've got the full, I mean, it's just about as good as I can get it, and I've tried everything. So we stretched it just a little bit, not much. And we've got it clamped up in 4 corners. Everything seems to be good. Like I say, I'm gonna drill some witness marks or reference marks so I can put it right back where it is now. We've got a lot of holes to punch. We've still got some welding to do on the support panel. We've got a splitter seams here. Obviously, we got work to do here when we go to put this back together, but from the videos I've watched, that's not uncommon to have that area to repair on the A-pillar skins. So that's kind of where we at today. We're gonna pull the skin back off, finish the support structure. That's gonna take a little while to weld up this piece we put in, and also to clean it up and get it sprayed in epoxy. We gotta get our foam or rubber or whatever we put in here. We got to do a little searching to put in between the 2 panels, find out what that stuff is. So I'm digging the fitment. I think we're gonna be fine. Like I say, we had to do a little bit of pulling and tugging, but not much. And I think more than anything, I think it's just probably, I might could have squared the panel up without having to put any pressure on the A-pillar. I don't know. There's no way for me to tell if this A-pillar, if you look down this A-pillar along with the B-pillar back there, I mean, it's dead on, so is the other side. But it seemed to kind of fall into place when I put just a little bit of pressure. I think more than anything, it kind of twisted this A-pillar just a little bit. I mean, I just don't hardly see how it can move it much with no more pressure on that than that is. I mean, it's very loose, really. So anyway, we're going to upload this video. This will be part 2 of the roof skin replacement at the Rusty Metal Garage. I want to thank everybody for watching, following along. Keep watching. We're going to get this thing done. And once we get this roof skin done, we're going to put the whole car together and let it set a while and look at it. And we're going to pull that motor and transmission out and see what we can do with it.